Hello, dear friends. Love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and you will be drawn to the true heart of existence, says Poet Dog. Opinions piece. Dreamland Operation. Planetary rebirth. Positive Templars. Mysteries of the Grail. Brotherhood of the Star. The blind leading the blind. Let's start. Dreamland Operation is an initiative driven by the forces of light to initiate a new planetary rebirth and a profound shift in global consciousness, according to Alcuin Brampton. Its purpose is the revelation of authentic spiritual teachings after millennia of distortion and manipulation during thousands of years of planetary isolation, and to restore material abundance to the light workers, conditioned by beliefs of poverty linked to spirituality. Many light workers believe that spirituality means living in poverty. That belief was a mental programming of negative syndicates, now in rapid decline. In truth, material abundance is a natural expression of the beauty of the incarnate soul, and every light worker deserves it. This operation is linked to lineages such as the white nobility and to the restoration of ancient mysteries, including the mysteries of Mary Magdalene, as preparation for the revelation of the goddess, and is planned to take place following the event, which will be a significant shift for humanity and the planet. This operation thus represents a global spiritual and material rebirth to advance toward an era of true freedom and abundance for humanity, especially for those involved in awakening and spiritual work. 500 years ago, the first Renaissance was spearheaded by a positive group linked to white nobility on 15th century Florence. The second Renaissance, unfolding now, is being driven by the same esoteric group worldwide and will herald the ultimate victory of the free human spirit over the forces of limitation. Furthermore, it aims to disseminate the true hidden teachings of the Ascended Masters, eliminating the misinformation and mind control that has prevailed for the past 26,000 years or so. The Second Renaissance is a process of spiritual and material liberation, a global awakening sponsored by luminous forces that restore ancient mysteries and prepare a new era of enlightenment, abundance, and true spirituality, with the active participation of the resistance movement and the unlocking of resources such as the Saint Germain Trust to support the light missionaries in this epochal shift. The Saint Germain Trust was established in the late 18th century by the Count of Saint Germain. One of the purposes of this trust was to assist the missionaries of light during the shift in eras. This shift began secretly in 2023. The fund will be released as soon as all vestiges of the negative syndicates are completely eliminated. The other objective of Dreamland Operation is to begin disseminating the true hidden teachings of the mystery schools. Spiritual teachings have degenerated over the past 26,000 years. While this planet has been quarantined and isolated from direct contact with the Ascended Masters, and now the blind lead the blind. It's important to mention two hidden but very benevolent power groups in connection with Dreamland Operation: the White Nobility and the Brotherhood of the Star. Both have worked discreetly for the liberation of the planet since ancient times. White Nobility. Not all aristocratic families have associated themselves with regressive syndicates throughout history. These conspirators are sources of distortion in service to themselves, involving various human and external entities, both physical and non-physical. Some members of the white nobility are involved in creating the new, fairer financial system that will soon replace the current one, while another group is dedicated to revealing ancient hidden knowledge. Many aristocratic families have resisted these syndicates passively, and some even actively. Noblesse oblige was not an empty phrase for them, but an imperative to help the less fortunate. Perhaps the most famous white nobility family was the Medici, who contributed to the Renaissance, which laid the foundations for our modern world. One common thread among all noble families is the occult tradition that stretches back millennia to the mystery schools of ancient Rome, Greece, and Egypt. The mysteries of the goddess are their greatest secret and their primary hidden weapon against the regressive syndicates. Many white nobility families have a strong connection to Mary Magdalene and the mysteries of the Grail, and are linked to positive Templar groups. The black nobility families associated with the Jesuits are allergic to the goddess energy. They wish to eradicate it from the face of the earth and have tried repeatedly. Until mid-2023, members of these regressive families received orders from the archons and were at the center of the conspiracy against the goddess. They still wage a hidden war against the white nobility, who try to support feminine qualities such as compassion, receptivity, creativity, and love. Most of the white nobility families are now in Italy and serve as a counterweight to the black nobility. They have lost much of their wealth in the last 2 centuries, but their positive hidden tradition remains very much alive. Their names have not yet been revealed to the public. These bloodlines are not directly associated with the Savoy family, as some have suggested. They work tirelessly in the shadows for the benefit of humanity. Brotherhood of the Star. The Star Brotherhood is an outpost of the Blue Lodge of Sirius, connected to Sirius through Jupiter and the Jupiter Command. Its purpose is to guide the evolution of the planet under the guidance of Sanat Kumara, also known as the Ancient of Days or the King of the World. The inner circle of the Brotherhood of the Star is composed of masters and arhats who have achieved their ascension on this planet. The Brotherhood of the Star has worked secretly since the time of Atlantis, 20,000 years ago. It has never had a public presence among the human population on the surface. The outer circle of the Brotherhood of the Star is the so-called esoteric Brotherhood, composed of initiated disciples of the Ascended Masters. The physical center of the Star Brotherhood is the vast subterranean realm of Shambhala, where the great mystery school of the Trans-Himalaya Brotherhood operates. the esoteric Brotherhood represents its antechamber. The Star Brotherhood has worked in secret through its disciples and the Order of the Star, a mandala of 144,000 star beings who have incarnated on Earth to collaborate in the hidden triangulation of light and darkness, influencing the planet's cultural and spiritual evolution throughout history. Members of the Order of the Star have influenced the world situation based on the telepathic guidance of the Star Brotherhood. For example, they have influenced Greco-Roman culture, collaborated with Druids, Essenes, Cathars, and Templars, and promoted esoteric movements that have shaped Western civilization. Thus, the Star Brotherhood is a spiritual organization of great antiquity and depth, dedicated to planetary evolution through a cosmic connection with Sirius, and under the guidance of ascended beings. Their esoteric symbol is the celestial stone of Sirius, called Chintamani, which represents the jewel of the true self, and their ideal is to maintain the truth teachings and spiritual purity against infiltrating influences that have affected other mystery schools. They fostered the flourishing of Greco-Roman culture through the telepathic impressions of the Star Brotherhood. They were Druid priests active in Celtic culture. As Essenes, they collaborated on the project of Jesus' ascension and in the lineage of Mary Magdalene, on the Grail as counterweight to the black nobility. Chronology. They founded Sufi initiation orders. In the 12th century, they founded the Cathar or Albigensian movement, which revived the mysteries of the goddess through troubadour poetry, as well as the mysteries of Gnostic Christianity from the period before the official cult of Constantine. In the 13th century, the Star Brotherhood and the Order of the Star founded the Knights Templar, based on the discovery of esoteric text found in the crypt beneath Solomon's temple. The information contained in these scrolls allowed for the resurgence of ancient Egyptian mysteries and the formation of Freemasonry. Driven by the Brotherhood of the Star, clandestine Cathar lodges sparked the Florentine Renaissance around 1450, shaping Western civilization as we know it. This Western Renaissance civilization facilitated the arrival in Europe from subterranean Tibet of the first representatives of the esoteric Brotherhood. Since the 15th century, several dozen representatives of the esoteric Brotherhood have worked secretly in Europe. In the 16th century, their activity was concentrated in Florence, Venice, and Verona. In the 17th century, in London and other English cities, and in the 18th century, in Paris. The esoteric Brotherhood transmitted the spiritual impulse that gave rise to the Enlightenment movement to the Order of the Star. This transformed the 18th century and laid the foundations for the scientific and technological revolution. The esoteric Brotherhood also promoted the creation of the mystery school through the Count of Saint-Germain in Paris in 1775. This secret school was active for a century, and later in 1875, the esoteric Brotherhood, through Elena Petrovna Blavatsky, promoted the creation of the Theosophical Society. Through telepathic impressions, the esoteric Brotherhood guided the progress of science, especially through Nikola Tesla. Infiltrators. Currently, the Esoteric Brotherhood does not participate in the Matrix system. Its members reside in secret locations on the surface of the planet. The esoteric symbol of the Brotherhood of the Star is the celestial stone from Sirius called Chintamani, which represents the jewel of our true self. The esoteric symbol of the Order of the Star is a chalice of Moldavite, the celestial stone from the Pleiades. This is the Holy Grail, representing our causal body and stellar nobility, the mandala of 144,000 star beings of light. The Star Brotherhood is the last pure vestige of the Atlantean mystery schools of light, negative syndicates attempting to infiltrate it without success, as it has very strict automation standards. But regressive syndicates were more successful infiltrating the more public mystery schools, as the negative Jesuits did with Freemasonry in the early 19th century. Later, the Theosophical Society was also infiltrated after Helena Blavatsky's death in London in 1891. Her teachings were misinterpreted by malicious groups. This misinterpretation caused confusion among the missionaries of light. Blavatsky's true teachings will soon be restored as part of Dreamland Operation. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.